Amouage, ultra niche luxury. Here are my top 5. Welcome back everybody to JoelTheNose here at Osme Perfumery, and today I'm going to do a video that can't remember if I've ever done one. I've talked about Amouage, a lot of their fragrances, but it's been a long time, maybe years, since I've done a top 5, top 10, and this is going to be my top 5 right now. This is definitely different from before because, as I talk about a lot, your tastes change and evolve over time. And so right now, these are the 5 that are my absolute favorite from the house. So let's get right into it. Number 5 is Royal Tobacco from the Opus collection. It's got that brown bottle, as a lot of you are probably familiar with, different from their other bottles. And this is just the ultimate in a tobacco fragrance. It is so different from most other tobacco perfumes that I've smelled. It just really is that very luxurious scent. If you look at the note breakdown, there's got to be 50 different notes in there. So I don't know how in the world they make something like this work with that many notes. If you've ever tried to make a perfume like I have, once you put more than 3 or 4 in there and you start getting reactions and combinations that could go any which way. So this is a true masterpiece because and that's why I'm saying you can't even pick out, for me, like one particular note that just says, okay, this is, the main dominant note. Obviously tobacco is the overall smell, but I wouldn't even think of this. It doesn't smell like, say, a typical smoky tobacco fragrance. It's more like, I picture myself in the room of a high-end, say, maybe club, gentleman's club or private club in New York City, in a leather club seat with maybe really high, beautiful Cuban cigars and a cognac. That's what you would be wearing in that type of situation. That's my number 5. Number 4 is going to be Overture Man. You can see right there. Okay, sorry, just getting my camera there. So Overture Man to me, and I just mentioned cognac. That's funny that I said that because this is, let me spray there for you, that kind of boozy, sexy, warm, perfect. This is like a really good date night or even, say, fall fragrance, like when it's starting to get a little bit chilly. So definitely can wear it now during the summer, but I would save it for nighttime, date night fragrance. It's got leather, cognac, myrrh, so it's got that resinous kind of oriental, sweet, leathery incense. If you know Amouage, you know incense is probably what they do as well or better than any house out there. So this has incense. I'm going to talk about a different incense fragrance, and actually I need to go grab it over here. Hold on. Where is it? No. Purpose. Okay, sorry, I went off camera there, but I had to go grab it. I actually forgot to put it over here. All right, so that's number 4. Let's go number 3 is Reflection Man. Reflection Man to me, I've already kind of sprayed it here. This would be the perfect of the 5 here right now for the middle of the high heat of summer, middle of July. Amouage, don't normally think of, summer fragrances, light, freshies. They're definitely more rich, dark, deep, opulent, decadent fragrances. This still hits all those notes, but it gives you a little bit more of just a general freshness to it. It has pink pepper at the top. I think it's got petitgrain, which is an orange note. So you thought between that orange and that pink pepper and some rosemary, you got a little bit of spicy green quality to it. Just wonderful, wonderful, any time of the day fragrance, versatile, work, date, whatever. So this is of probably the 5 that I'm mentioning here, the most versatile that you can wear pretty much any time. Let's go to number 2. And number 2 would be Interlude Man. Probably not on everyone's list. There's so many great fragrances, and I've had other ones that I've had in my mind as top 5 from Amouage, but I would say Interlude right now is there because this one to me is just different. This is, again, very, what I call a hallmark, pure niche perfume. Meaning this is, when you want to think niche perfume and think something totally different from a lot of the others, this is it. And that is that oregano note. Oregano kind of really sticks out at the top with the pepper and some bergamot, give it a little bit of a citrus kick, but that really is not a citrusy fragrance. It is green oregano. Again, also has incense in here when you start going into the dry down. So this, to me, the reason why I picked this and I picked it so high is because I like how different this is, and it just hits my skin perfectly. This is one that you have to put on your skin. Smelling it on the paper doesn't do it justice, and it may turn some people off. You got to get it on the skin. That's going to lead to my number two, co-number two. So I have two number twos, and that would be Purpose. Purpose, what can I say? This is, Purpose is the purpose for having incense fragrances, okay? Purpose is the reason you have incense in perfumery. Incense goes back to biblical times as stuff that was, you know, burned and smelled in ceremonial type situations, ceremonies, weddings, burials, you know, I guess ceremonies where you're sacrificing things to the gods. But all joking aside, this is, to me, one of my top 3 incense fragrances of all time. It's right there with Casbah from Robert Piguet, which is, you know, next level for me. This is right there with that. So if you really want a great incense fragrance, I'm not even going to talk about any of the other notes because that's what this is. This is incense, pure and simple. And that's going to leave me with my number 1. And this is, I got to say, it's nostalgic for me because it's the very first one I ever smelled from the house in 2017, and that is Beach Hut Man. Don't let the name fool you. I don't think this has anything to do with the beach. Not sure how or why they came up with that name. It's a great name because it's iconic. Like anyone that comes in here or talks about Amouage when I'm talking with them, they all know Beach Hut Man because the name is, again, iconic. But when you smell it, it is green, it is minty, it is got olibanum, it's got ivy, all these kind of very green vegetal notes, but still being sweet enough to make it very compelling and very sexy. I put this on my skin, it goes 9-10 hours, it projects, and it was, again, one of the very first ones I smelled here in Osme, maybe, shoot, what is that? 8 years ago? 7-8 years ago. And I remember wearing it, I think it was 2018, 18 or 19, to the very first Scent Explorer in New York. And it was late October, it was already getting cold. I remember wearing this, it was such a great fall fragrance. And as we're kind of, you know, not there yet, but we're getting towards fall. To me, this is a better fall fragrance than summer. Again, don't let the name fool you. I wear it all year round. In Miami, you have to wear it because we're hot all year round. But this is truly something just, it's just special. It doesn't smell like anything else I've ever smelled. There's a lot of great perfumes and fragrances out there that you could say, oh, this smells like that, or this one smells like this one, or it's a great oud rose fragrance or incense. This smells like no other perfume out there. That's why I hold it in such high esteem and why it's my number 1 position. Because of the nostalgia, because of the memories, again, the power of perfume and how it can transport you back to a certain time. It brings me back to when I first was really getting heavily into niche perfumery about 8 years ago. So just love it. Will always have that bottle in my collection, and it's one of my go-to signature scents. So there you have it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know. There's so many great ones. You know, could have gone through. By the way, a lot of these have flankers, which are kind of, you know, typically more extrait or higher of the percentage of the actual perfume oil. But I like the originals. I always go typically with originals rather than the flankers. So let me know some of your favorites. Put them down in the comments. If you haven't already subscribed, I humbly would ask you for your support. I appreciate it. And remember my rule, don't be a wimp, spray like a pimp.
You guys always smell great. Who do you trust for fragrance reviews?
JoelTheNose.
JoelTheNose.
JoelTheNose.